Street.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by his statement in relation to the New Zealand High Commissioner's apology to the Indian government for Paul Henry's on-air comments, quote, "It doesn't matter that the words don't come out of my mouth, they come out of the mouth of the High Commissioner, but they've been the instructions of the New Zealand government"?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, yes, because at the time I made that statement last Friday, I'd assumed that had been the case for both the apology to the Government of India and for an apology directly to the Chief Minister of Delhi. Subsequently, I've been advised that while my Foreign Policy Advisor had spoken to the High Commissioner and directed that an apology be delivered to the Chief Minister, this occurred after the separate apology to the Government of India had already been delivered.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
To the Prime Minister, why was he all but silent on this issue, until after the Indian Ministry of External Affairs had issued a media statement and delivered a strongly worded démarche to the High Commissioner on the 7th of October?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, firstly, I wouldn't say I was silent on the issue. I was questioned on it on Monday at my press conference extensively. At the time, I didn't refer to Phil Goff's comments, which said that it was Paul Henry being Paul Henry, but had I known he'd said that 5 hours after he'd had a chance to consider it, I probably would have repeated those comments as well.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
To the Prime Minister, what advice did he receive from the Minister of Foreign Affairs about how his government should respond to this rapidly escalating diplomatic incident?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't receive any, but my office and my Foreign Policy Advisor would have been closely working with their counterparts in MFAT.
The Honourable Maryan Street.
To the Prime Minister, how has he enhanced our relationship with India and the progress of a complex free trade agreement with India through his appalling lack of judgment and leadership over Paul Henry's repeated slights?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I know this will come as a tremendous surprise to the Minister, but I'm a member, should I say, but I am not responsible for what comes out of Paul Henry's mouth, or Michael Laws, or any of the other shock jocks who work on the broadcasting world.
The order. The Honourable Maryan. Supplementary question. The Honourable Maryan Street.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Does the Prime Minister accept that in hindsight he might have defended the Governor-General during his interview on Television One last week?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as I said yesterday, one could always reflect on these things. In hindsight anyway, the comments I made, I guess they would have been about 8 hours after the incident, or at my post-Cabinet press conference, were that the comments were plain wrong and the Governor-General was doing a tremendous job. I didn't choose to quote Phil Goff when he said Paul Henry was just being Paul Henry because I assumed Mr Goff would have thought about his own comments a little more.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, that was a commendably direct question about the Prime Minister's action at the time of the interview. The Prime Minister gave a long diatribe about what he did afterwards, but did not refer to the fact that he did not pull Henry up to defend the Governor-General during the interview.
Order. Members now getting the substance of an issue. I listened to the question very carefully. While it was a brief question, it really asked the Prime Minister on reflection, how he felt about the way he handled the issue. And the Prime Minister, I think, gave his view of the way he handled the issue, and that type of question that seeks an opinion is never going to get an exact answer. The Honourable Maryan Street. Point of order, the Honourable Maryan Street.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I seek leave of the House to table the statement from India's Ministry of External Affairs released on October the 7th, 2010, entitled "India Denounces Racist Remarks Against Delhi Chief Minister."
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 6, Hekia Parata.